Arsenal and Man City knew they had one job going into this game. That was to win. And one team won, and one team didn't. Let's start with the Arsenal game. Arsenal, the league leaders, traveled to Brighton in what was always going to be a tough game. I mean, City have lost at Brighton already this season. It's a very difficult ground to go to. Brighton will play their football regardless of who you are. You already know that. So the game started. It was a decent game, and then Saka scored a shot from outside the box that take a huge deflection from Baleba. And Arsenal scored 1. I think, okay, that's a good start, you know. Let's see. And then Brighton basically took control of that game to the end of the game. I mean, the XG after halftime was like 0.01 that Arsenal created, and they were 1 goal up. I mean, Brighton were just, they weren't creating big chances, that's the thing, right? But they were creating half decent chances almost throughout the entire game. The Arsenal defense was rock solid in box defending. That was like incredible box defending from Arsenal. And they had the resistance to just not concede. So one of those games where their almighty defense came into play, because for the wave of attack that Brighton had today, you are thinking if that was City, they would have probably conceded. So Arsenal not conceding was huge, and that second goal was basically enough. Arsenal didn't do much going forward throughout the game, but they were able to neutralize Brighton's attacks. They even got on well work in the second half. They didn't really have much chances like that. Arsenal again were very, very solid. They were very, very solid throughout this game, and they basically did their own job. On the other side, Manchester City hosted 18th place Forest, and they didn't win. How is that possible? So the game started. I had both games, side by side. City were in cruise control for most of this game, actually. Because, like, what I'm opposite is right. So the team that was not in cruise control managed to win. And the team that was in cruise control, to be honest, managed to not win. They took the lead through a Semenyo half volley, brilliant goal, good cross by Cheki, good finish by Semenyo, and Man City, just doing their thing, the U-shaped football, not really the most interesting football to watch, but they were keeping it under control. And then Gibbs White scored an amazing goal. Like, that was a breathtaking, like, bruh, what kind of finish that have you floored? That was the kind of finish that he had. And then, shortly after that, Rodri scored again. And I'm thinking, ooh, okay. From a corner kick, headed it in, 2-1. I think, oh, okay. Come on, this should be enough, right? This should be enough. And then Anderson scored. Anderson scored a beautiful goal. Again, they were just conceding beautiful goals. It was like an outside the box shot, brilliant strike. And then from there on, okay, shortly before the Anderson goal, Haaland had a penalty ruled out. In my opinion, I thought that was a stonewall pen. We see it a lot in football where the true pass is played to the striker takes the touch, even the keeper clatters him the pen. And to my surprise, I was so shocked. And then Man City were probing for their second goal. I mean, the referee was not good today, especially for Man City. Like, it was bad, actually. I feel like we should have gotten the penalty for Haaland. The Rodri own, I kind of get why it was not given. At least Rodri took a shot that was a follow through, 2 legs coming together. But the Haaland own, I'm actually curious to see why that wasn't given, because we see that given all the time. Like, when did they stop giving that as pens? Anyway, City could not break down Forest. And at the end, there was drama. A good ball got played in. I think it was Bernardo also that controlled it. Sabinho had chance to shoot. He took his first touch. And he managed to not get the shot off well. Bernardo played the ball. The ball was... I thought City scored there. Genuinely, I thought City scored there. Overall, though, what does this mean for the title race? This means that it is fully in Arsenal's hands now. I mean, going to today's games was weird, where any team that wins all their games in the season wins the league. Because Man City have an outstanding game, and if they beat Arsenal, they basically win the league. Arsenal, basically, they beat City, they basically win the league and they win other games. So, but with this draw, it means that it's fully in Arsenal's hands now. The interesting thing is that I don't think City will be too forced, because one thing that these two teams have shown this season is that we are basically watching two teams try their very best to not win the league. Like, it is crazy. There's this meme, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Like, just too horrible. The R word, we can't use it on YouTube. But like 2 R word going at it, that's basically this title race. And the winner this year will be one of the worst winners in years, genuinely. Like, one of the worst winners since like Leicester. Both teams have been very inconsistent. Like, we talk about Man City January where they won like 1 game in 6. Arsenal had that kind of February. It's crazy, man. Anyways, one other twist in the title race. Arsenal now have everything in their hands. They have some tough games to come out. The funny thing that for City was that in the calendar, Forest at home was one of the easier games, but they somehow didn't win. So that Arsenal know that all they have to do is win their remaining games and not lose at the Etihad, and they've won the league. Will Arsenal do that? We wait and see. And let me know what you think in the comment below, and I'll see you next time.